Okay, welcome back, guys. So today I'm going to show you guys how to texture a cheese, or texturing cheese rather. So I already have my sculpts in here, which I've already picked out the maps for. So if I should go to area subdivision level for this. So this is how so this is how my cheese is looking like. Let me create subdivision level for this also. Okay, so this is it. So I already picked out the various maps I would need for this, which is just mainly normal map. So then I've exported the low base or the low poly mesh to Maya already, and I already have UVs on there. So each one has UVs. So I'm going to select this one, and then let me just make sure I have this pivot centered. And I'm going to be applying a new favorite material to this. I'll just name this to cheese 01 maths. Let me copy this. Also like to give this a different colors. Let me just give it a different color. Okay, no. Think Lambert material should be better. Just place that on there and just name this one to 2 and give that a different color also. Just do a quick save. Right, and I'll select this 2 and I'll just export this out as dual FBX. Dual FBX. Making sure under the geometry tab, triangulate is turned off. Then I'll just click on exports. So the next thing I'm going to do is to let me minimize that. Let's open up Substance Painter. Okay, so in Substance Painter now, so let's start by creating a new file. So let's import the cheese in here. So dual FBX file, open. Then I'll import the maps I picked out. I picked the maps at 4K resolution, so that should be fine. Click OK. Okay, so I have them in here now. So I would like to bring in their maps in. So I'll just come in here to my texture settings. Oh, not yet. So I'm on cheese 01 matte. So select map, cheese. It should be cheese 01. Yes, cheese 01 normal map. So right off the bat, we have this in here now. Okay. We're not having stretching on this. No, we're not. I think everything baked out just fine. So let's go to the other one. Texture sets list. Cheese 02 texture set settings normal. Let's bring in the other one. Okay. We have this applied. We have this applied in here now, which is fine. Though I would like to do one more thing also, because I had in ZBrush I had more detailing for the two of those. So let's start with the cheese one. Let's crank this up to the highest subdivision level. So on the highest subdivision level, I would it's just I think it's just one thing I would like to crank up. This alpha. I like to crank up this alpha. Because I would like to use this as my second layer of cheese detailing in there. Although that looks quite intense though, but that's fine. I'll come to the normal map and I'll just do another new bake for this. So let me take down take this down. Take down this subdivision level for it. And I would create a new normal map out of this. Just to add another extra level of detail. So clone texture, flip, export, exporting this to maps. Let me just name it to detailed. Okay, 01 detailed cheese. I think that should be fine. Then I'll just do the same for this other piece. So I'll go to the layers in here and then crank this up. That is weird. I don't know why it shifted out of. Let me just roll this for. It won't really matter. I'm just gonna bake this in. Okay, let me just do a bake for this. I can always move this out of the way later, but let me just do a bake for this. So let's just let me go down to lower subdivision level. Then I'll create a new normal map for this, This new detail on there. Oh, I've not cloned it. So let's clone now. Flip, export. Okay, detailed. So I'll just name this O2. Save. That should be pretty much it. So I'm just going to import that in here. So detailed O1 detailed cheese, O2 detailed cheese. So I'm importing this as textures. Import. They're in there now. But let me just do a quick save for this file. Probably spelling this cheese wrong. Okay. Alright, so we are good. The next thing we need to do now is just to bake textures for this. So I'll come in here, I'll choose, let's bake at 2K resolution. So baking at 4K resolution would be probably too high. So don't need normal map. We already have normal maps for this. So ambient occlusion, only self name, apply to all. I believe we should be good. So I'll just do a quick bake. So I'm just going to give this a moment to kind of go through and then bake our textures, and I'll come back when this is done. Okay, so we're done baking. So let's get right on to this. So I'm going to start with cheese O1. Now just solo this. So I'm going to start by importing, by creating a new fill layer first. Then on this fill layer, I'm just going to name this to normal map. Maybe probably even detailed normal, so I know what is actually in there. So I will only be needing the normal map channel for this. Then I'm going to drag anything is in here. So I'll do detailed normal O1. So I'm just going to drag this to the normal map slots. Okay. So this is what we are getting. It's just more or less like a kind of surface detail. It's not really actually in the geometry because I did not export this out with this applied to the geometry on my low subdivision level. That's why you should not be able to see so much depth coming from the normal map in here. But I just need this for like a more or less like a base pass for it. Okay. So this should work as a base pass. So now look, let's get on to texturing this. Okay. So I'm going to be using, let's see, I think I'm going to be using this as my reference. Trying to figure out which particular one has a better, which particular one has better shading in there. I think I would reduce the effect of this. Okay, let's use this as a main reference. So I'm going to start by, or rather continue by creating another new fill layer. Then let's pick a, so we're going to be starting from a darker tone. Let's pick a more darker tone from this. This one looks too bright. Not entirely sure. You know, this color here should be that, which color around this edge should be affected by the subsurface scattering. So let's see, somewhere around, let's say somewhere around here instead. Then probably just darken it a bit more, something like this to start with. Um, I will duplicate this material and I'm going to use something even darker, somewhere around there. Now turn this bottom one off. Then let's get some roughness. Maybe the default. I think somewhere around there should be fine. Let's use a different light setup for this. Maybe some kind of studio light setup. Let's see. This one makes everything too dark. I think I'll just stick to this. I think this Mandarin should be a better one. Okay. Then I would, let me name this to base. This one created at the top. Let's just bring this on top like so. Then I'm going to add a black mask to this. And I'm going to add a fill layer. Let me do a quick save. I think I'm going to use the procedural texture. Let me use the BW for this. I think this one seems like a better one. So let's check the marks for this. So hitting C on the keyboard until you get to the marks for this. Increase the balance. Let's see if there's any major difference in there. There isn't so much difference in there, but that's fine. I will just leave this as a base, and then I would like to increase the, maybe make sure we're using triplanar mapping in here. No, that's way too much. Let's try a value of 5. Okay. Maybe take this down like so. Maybe even a bit more. Then I will duplicate this layer, add the black marks, or rather remove the mask completely. Then I'm going to be using a much brighter color tone for this. Let's highlight this brighter tone in here. Something like this should be fine. Now the black marks, add a few layer. So for this one, I'm going to be using the cloud. Let's try something like this. Let's see the marks we're getting out of this. It should be on triplanar mapping. Okay, this is the albedo. This is albedo map. I think this should work just fine. The next thing I'm going to do is to use a more darker shade on the edges. So for that, I would duplicate this again, remove marks. Then I'm going to be using the much darker region for this. Yeah, something like this should work. So this should go around the edges. So I'm just going to add the black marks. And I'm going to use a generator for this. I'm going to be using the curvature generator for this. Okay. So right off the bat, we're already having some interesting results happening in here. I think what I'm going to do is to duplicate this. I will duplicate this, hide the top one for now. For this piece, I'm going to be lightening this up a bit more, something like so. Then let's see if we can make some adjustments to this. Let me go in here instead, do a quick save. Let's see if we can adjust the balance. Taking this down a bit more, because I don't want it to be all over the place, and I'll just blow it out like so. Something like this looks nice. Okay, probably take this down some more. This is not all over the place. Something around a value like this should be fine. Okay, then bring this back up, bring this back in, then come in here. I'm going to change the model type. Let's open this box. I think I'm going to be using, let's try cavity. This is also an interesting one. So just focusing mainly on the cavities. I think I would use, let's see what happens in the more darker shade, more of a darker shade to it, as which is fine. I think I'm just going to duplicate this again. So I'll just name this to curvature detail. Name this to curvature cavity. Or let me just name this to cavity. Let me just name this cavity hole so I can easily identify them and know where they are. Maybe come in here and then increase the balance a bit more. Kind of blow this out some more. Then take down the general intensity of this. Yeah, something like this should be fine. Now duplicate this again. Increase this all the way up. Increase this all the way up like so. But for this, I will need to the model type for this curvature, so we need to change that. So let's come into the curvature and then change this from cavity to dual. Yeah, something like this. You can see how this, let's go in here. Color is not very intense, but you can see how it's affecting the edges around here, so which is precisely what I want. So I want this to be affecting the edges. So we need to we need to think invert this. Now this is not working well inverted. Think we need to just play with this. Okay, let's try unprocessed. Let me take this down. Let's see the marks rather. I think the marks will give us a better idea. Yes. So this is the marks. So this is mostly what we want on the edges. Yeah, this is kind of what I want. Most of the edges, I want the edges to be affected more. So let me turn that off and on. Let's see how that is being affected. Blow it out even more. Something like so. It's more or less what we work with. You can see some kind of brown edge around this. So that is just basically what I'm trying to recreate. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, something pretty much like this. Let me look at it from a distance to be sure if everything's working correctly. Alright, I think this is fine. We can actually work with this. Then if there's corrections to be made, I can always go back and then fix or correct. But I think I need to brighten up this. Let's see. Let me brighten this up a bit more. Let's get some brighter tone to this. Okay. Maybe even go in there by hand. Add a paint layer. No, I think better still. Let me just duplicate this layer and name this to paint. Select this that paint layer. I think we're painting. We only need to paint in. So I'm going to turn off everything else apart from the height channel. Okay, and the roughness. Okay, but let's use a brush instead. Let's use a brush instead. So I'm going to be using go to the brush panel, do a quick save. Okay, I think I'm going to be using the depth brush in here. And I'll just kind of do some general painting around here. Just paint around this. Okay, paint around here also. Let me check this left. So and just paint over this. Paint around here also. Alright, so I think for the most part this should be fine. For the most part this should be fine. Okay, so all we have to do just to plug this into. Okay, I need to the other piece. We have still have the other piece in there. But I'm trying to figure out how reflective this should be. How reflective is cheese? Trying to figure out how reflective cheese should be. Because I'm not entirely sure if this reflectiveness is good enough or maybe just way too much. Some of these details are going to be softened out when I add some soft surface scattering to this though. Maybe we should even add one in here. So a scattering. There's that scattering. Activate soft surface scattering. So I'll just put a new one in here. Use more or less like a fleshy tone to it somewhere around here. Turn everything off oh apart from the color and subsurface scattering. Now the only thing that subsurface scattering for the substance painter is just way too much. But I just want to kind of get a close enough example for it. Just to see if everything's actually working correctly or not. Doesn't feel completely right though, but I'm just trying to figure out how soft all of this should be. Okay, so I'm going to use this for the other part of the model. Let me just turn this off for now. Select all of this. Click on copy. Come in here. Select this and paste this on here. Turn off the shadowing. I think I put the wrong one in there, so let's get the right one in there. Okay, so let's export this out into Monset 2 bag and let's get some better shading on there. Then if there's anything you need to correct, you can always come back and then correct it inside of Substance Painter. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial to kind of finish this up. So bye for now.